Hey Peepsy Doodles! So I did my first witchy shopping trip of 2017 and I'm super excited about the things that I got, and I actually only got two things at the actual witchy store and then got the other things at other places that they just ended up finding me as I was shopping, and I was so excited. So we did the big long hour and a half trip out of town to my favorite witchy place, and I haven't been there in a long time because we haven't taken Aria, and so today was our first trip with her, and it was awesome, and she loved the store. So we went there, and we went to the mall, and we went to the bookstore, and we went to a couple of different places, and so I just wanted to show you guys what ended up coming home with me. So I have been looking at Palo Santo wood and Palo Santo sticks for a long time, and every time that I go to buy them, they're not cheap. They're normally relatively expensive. So I picked them up and I'm like, nah, not today. I don't really need them, and put them down. So today we walked in the witchy store and I'm kind of looking around at everything, and we were walking over on this aisle, and on the other aisle, one of the guys that worked there bent down and picked something up and put it back on the shelf. And I walked around to look at the candles, and the same item fell in front of me again, and it ended up being this package of Palo Santo sticks. And so I picked it up, not thinking, and put it back, and then I picked it back up again and was like, oh my god, they're $4.99. And I had a $25 gift card from my wonderful hubby for Christmas. So these came home with me, and they smell amazing. So I am really excited to use these. So that's my first thing. The second thing that I got, my pride and joy of the trip, I got from the same place, is my Chalcedony crystal ball. Now, I was kind of looking at the different gems and crystals and everything that I normally look at there, and nothing real. The big thing that I like to do when I'm in that kind of a store is I'll pick things up and put them down, and if I have a really hard time putting them down, or if I continue to come back to them, or if the energy is really strong, it's something that I normally know has to come home with me. So I'm not a big crystal ball person, and so I was looking at the different ones, and they had all kinds of different stuff, and I picked this one up, and just look at the different, it's absolutely, I just wish that I could catch it in. This is like the best lighting that I had was out in my kitchen, but I mean, it's just amazing. And so I picked it up and kind of held it for a little while. I was kind of messing with it, and I put it down, and I came back to it and picked it up again and put it down. Finally I came back to it, and I kept looking at it, and I was like, I know it looks like agate, but it kept Chalcedony just kept coming to my head, like the letter C, and it was just weird. And so I'm like, okay, this has to come home with me. Oh, honey, it's okay. So I went to go check out, and one of the guys was like, yeah, this really looks like agate, but I'm gonna go talk to Mike and see what Mike says. So this owner's son comes up, and he looks at it, and he goes, I know it looks a lot like agate, but it's actually polished chalcedony. And I'm like, oh my god, that's what I thought it was. Like, that's what kept coming to my head. So this baby came home with me, and I actually held it all the way home, and so it's really warm right now. But I also got the little stand. It was $1. So she's huge. Look at how big it is. I love it. I love it. So that's mine. The next thing we went to, actually it was TJ Maxx, also known TJ Maxx, Marshalls, all kind of the same thing. And I like to look in their little food section because they normally have a lot of really awesome prices on Himalayan salt. And so I was looking, and they had authentic Hawaiian black lava sea salt, and I have never actually seen black sea salt. Maybe it's normally in the market, but here I've never seen it, and so I bought a thing of it because then I don't have to make my own, and it was $3.99. So got some black sea salt. And this one, okay, I told myself I didn't need any more books because I don't need any more books, which is terrible to say because honestly, who can have too many books? I mean, really. So when I was at our witchy store and I was looking at the book selection, I saw this book there and it kind of popped out at me, and so I picked it up and looked at it a couple times, and then, you know, kept thinking, and I was like, I pick it up and put it down, pick it up, and I was like, I don't need another book. I don't need another book, so I left it and bought my other two things. Then I went to the big bookstore. We don't have a huge bookstore here in my town. It's only a little one. So when we go there, we normally make, it's BAM, Books a Million? Books and More. Books a Million, I think. But it's basically like a big Barnes & Noble. So when I went over to the New Age section, even though this book was spined, immediately it's what jumped out of the three big sections of New Age books. So I picked it up, and I looked at it again, and looked at it again, and said, I don't need any more books, and I put it down, and I left and went and looked at other stuff. I came back to the section 3 times, and before I left, I finally picked it up and brought it home. So it's Earth Magic, Ancient Shamanic Wisdom for Healing Yourself, Others, and the Planet by Stephen D. Farmer. And as you all know, I've been extremely interested in shamanic studies, and so this, after reading through the different chapters, I think is going to go along extremely well with that, and I didn't even know that it existed. So I'm really excited to read this one and see what kind of goodies I discover. So that's my first witchy shopping trip of 2017. I think it was very successful, and Aria had a good time. She went shopping and got some ice cream and some food court food and all kind. Oh, she also got she got a Nemo toy. They had at FYE. They had, God, I keep seeing a hair and I can't get it. They had their Nemo stuffed animals. They were like buy one get two free, and she kept staring at Nemo. So she got Nemo and Dory and the whale shark Destiny. So super excited for her too. But anyway, I hope that you guys have an awesome day. I'm super excited to dabble with all of my goodies and to spend more time with my Cal Sydney. Super excited. I actually want to name her. And the name that keeps popping up in my head is Sydney, because Cal Sydney. But that's really weird because I have a really, really good friend at work named Sydney, and so I don't know if I can do that. But I will sit with it and see, because if her name ends up being Sydney, that's just how it goes then. So I hope you guys have an awesome night, and I'll see you later. Bye.